Both these motorcycles stand at the pinnacle of what each of these manufacturers have to offer. They both approach the same tasks, be it in their own striking fashion. Now, the BMW GS needs no introduction, but here's one anyway. BMW has been building the GS moniker since the 1980s and has built over 1.2 million units ever since, and this model has seen over 6 generation cycles so far. It is universally seen as the benchmark in this segment. BMW and Boxer engines have a history of over 100 years, and BMW has been putting this bike together for over 4 decades. Hence this beautiful paint scheme celebrating that very occasion. The Ducati Multistrada is relatively younger, and its newest avatar takes technology to a whole new level, featuring a V4 engine and a new radar adaptive cruise control system. The Ducati Multistrada isn't exactly a direct rival to the GS and has a very different customer base. We would have preferred to have the Harley-Davidson Pan America, but unfortunately Harley didn't have a bike that they could lend us. The Ducati Multistrada V4S is now longer, wider and taller than the GS. It also has a longer wheelbase and a relatively lower seat height, which makes it a little more approachable. When you look at the overall design of the bike, it has a very form meets function sort of approach to it, where you can see that this bike was wind tunnel designed and every line, every crease, every vent has purpose over here to be as aerodynamic as possible while harnessing as much of the air for cooling. It no longer features an enduro model, which is why you now get a double-sided swing arm as opposed to the previous single-sided one. It now features a MotoGP inspired monocoque frame and a much more rigid subframe. It now features a bigger tank at 22 liters of capacity. It can only be had with a 19-inch front wheel, which is unfortunate because people used to really love the 17-inch alloy wheels earlier. But now this is what you have. You can also opt for spoked wheels, it's an optional extra. Speaking of which, a couple of things that you see here on the bike, like the hand guards over here, the crash protection, the bash plate and even the radiator guard, these are all optional extra and don't come standard, which is kind of disappointing at this price point. Like before, the new Multistrada also features a full LED headlamp that also has a cornering function. Most of the visual bulk of the Multistrada sits in the front, and the rear is very neatly tapered like a sports bike. It has a new tail lamp design and it has new LED indicators. One thing that does catch me off guard is the number plate illumination, which is not top illuminated but from the side. So this can be a little annoying when viewed from the side for oncoming traffic, but otherwise, yeah, you won't really care so much. Okay, I guess that sums up the Ducati's design. Let's move on to the BMW and see what it has. Now overall the GS pretty much looks the same, except for this new beautiful paint scheme celebrating 40 years of GS. This paint takes inspiration from the R100 GS and is nicknamed Bumblebee. Additionally, you get new adaptive LED headlamps, but apart from that, the design remains relatively the same. In my personal opinion, this design looks a lot more rugged than the Multistrada, and if I had to visually imagine one being dropped over on a trail, it would probably be the BMW and not the Multistrada. Now talking about the R1250 GS's Boxer motor, well, there's not much to say. It now features BMW's shift cam technology, which is something you don't really notice. Maybe if you're really looking for it, you might, but otherwise it works seamlessly and I doubt you'd ever tell it's working in the background. The overall engine feels smoother than that on the Multistrada, and the engine feels a lot more tractable at lower speeds. It also has a lighter clutch compared to the Multistrada, which makes it easier to ride. This engine produces about 136 bhp of power and about 143 Nm of torque, which is very healthy. And I feel like most of these riders that ride the GS will appreciate the high torque numbers and won't ever complain about not having enough horsepower. Unlike the Ducati Multistrada that's chain driven, the GS over here is shaft driven, which takes away the chain maintenance and you never have to worry about that, so that's a good thing. Despite having a 19-inch front wheel, the front end on the Ducati inspires quite a lot of confidence and feels good. The electronic suspension works very well, and I would go as far as to say this is probably one of the best in its class. It handles road to off-road riding pretty decent, though the suspension primarily seems road biased. It handles off-road riding pretty decent too. To me, the tires inspire more confidence on the Ducati than they do on the BMW, at least when it comes to being on road. The suspension in the Ducati allows for much further adjustability. While toggling through the modes, you can select how hard or soft you want your suspension, and apart from that, you can even pre-select what kind of weight or load there'll be on the bike, be it a rider with pillion, a rider with pillion and luggage, or just a rider with luggage. However, the Ducati does feel a little more top-heavy compared to the BMW, and it can feel a little sluggish when it comes to off-road riding. The problem with the Ducati is that even when you set it to enduro mode and you turn on the traction control to its lowest setting, it still tends to kick in every now and then, making throttle a little more abrupt and power a little more inconsistent and unpredictable off-road. The overall suspension feels a little too soft for my taste, and even though it may be more comfortable, it ends up robbing you of any feel. The suspension feels planted off-road, and the bike feels quite balanced even at lower speeds. When it comes to low speed riding, the GS inspires a lot of confidence and makes it easier to control even when you're sliding the bike. The throttle is more predictable and controllable off-road. Okay, the telelever suspension on the BMW works wonders and does a great job of eliminating any brake dive whatsoever. It's a very new feeling when you first enter a corner a little too hard and you tend to brake. Normally you're used to your bike bopping forward, and then when you let go of the brake, it sort of like lifts up from the front. But that doesn't happen in the BMW. It takes some time to get used to, but once you do, it's a flawless system, and I wish more bikes had it. The Ducati Multistrada gets some top tier braking with some superbike level of equipment. It features Brembo's M50 calipers, and they do a fantastic job at stopping this motorcycle. The braking feels solid and inspires a lot of confidence and helps you push yourself even further. The braking on the BMW feels comparatively softer, and I've noticed that the ABS kicks in a little too often. This could be down to the knobby tires, but alas, I guess the Ducati brakes better. The Multistrada features 4 different riding modes and 3 power modes. It also features cornering ABS, Ducati traction control, Ducati wheelie control, a blind spot monitoring system that works really well, adaptive cruise control, hill hold assist, Ducati Connect that allows you to connect via the navigation. However, the problem is that in order to connect to Ducati's navigation system, you have to keep the app open on your phone the whole time. It features a 12-volt charging socket and even has a USB charging socket in its phone holder. The BMW doesn't lack back in terms of technology. However, it doesn't pack just the same amount. It too has dynamic traction control, ABS, up to 7 different riding modes ranging from Eco, Rain, Road, Dynamic, Enduro, Dynamic Pro and Enduro Pro. It also gets hill start control and features a USB charging socket. I'd also like to talk about the ergonomics on these machines, starting with the Ducati Multistrada. So again, the seat height is relatively low. You feel like you're sitting in the bike as opposed to on the bike like you do on the GS. Now, here's my gripe, okay? Everything that's in front of you is relatively quite high. So it blocks a significant amount of your view forward. Even with the visor at its lowest setting, it still takes up a lot of eye space. So that is something that is a little annoying, but it just takes some time getting used to. When you realize that this bike primarily is meant for the road, then it makes a lot more sense that you wouldn't need to see something that's right in front of you, comparatively right in front of you. Another thing that I like is how easy it is to use this visor over here. It just takes one finger. It's a lot simpler compared to what you find on the BMW. I'll show you that in a bit. But all in all, it's a nice, comfortable place to be. Not as relaxed as the BMW, but relaxed nonetheless. You have a nice wide handlebar, a little too wide. It gives you better control, but it can be a little more difficult to maneuver in tight city traffic. Now, moving on to the BMW GS. Compared to the Multistrada, the BMW GS feels a whole lot more relaxed, and you end up feeling like you're sitting on the bike as opposed to sitting in it. The handlebars are wide on this too, but they're in a slightly more relaxed fashion, and they have you leaning forward a little bit, though not too much, not enough to make you uncomfortable, but enough to have you committed enough. Now, the thing that bothers me about this system is that you do need to rotate it in order to move it. and sometimes it's not the most comfortable thing to do when you're riding, especially with your right hand, because unless you're using cruise control. But otherwise, yeah, this visor is pretty good and does a fairly good job blocking the wind. Although I have noticed it shake a little and make some noise. It's not as quiet as what you find on the Multistrada, but that's okay. I feel like this bike is really comfortable, and anyone that's doing long distance on this bike won't really have much to complain about. Now, which one of these two is a better motorcycle? It's not that simple, but I have two answers. The first one being your typical, both these motorcycles cater to two different kinds of people kind of answer. But I'll tell you that if you want to go and have something dynamic on road, you pick the Ducati. But if you want something fun off-road, you pick the BMW. If you want to travel long distances, you take the BMW. But if you want to get there sooner, you pick the Ducati. The truth is slightly more different though. You see, the Ducati demands a lot more skilled rider, whereas the BMW is a lot more easy and approachable for someone that's new to this class. However, the Ducati is more rewarding and can put most superbikes to shame, and then keep up with some top-tier ADVs off-road. That's not to say the BMW can't do the same. It's just a little more relaxed and laid back in its manner. Since most of my riding is on tarmac, I'd happily pick the Ducati and tour with a grin. Couple that with a host of new features, the radar and the blind spot monitoring that really help to give you more confidence and don't stand there as mere gimmicks. I feel like the Ducati Multistrada V4 is a more well-rounded package for someone like me, and this would be my pick as the winner for this test. Thank you so much for watching, and do let us know down in the comment section below which of these two you thought was the better motorcycle and which would be your pick. Do stick around to the Top Gear India YouTube channel for more of this kind of content. This is Gavin Rodriguez signing off.